Rally friends. So this is how we get people inside of the rally. It's also here where you can see everyone who is a member. Again, just looking side by side comparison. What does an admin see versus what does a friend see? So there's some obvious things. If you click on to the right of anyone's name, specifically those three dots, a rally admin has the ability to direct message an individual. So does a friend. But an admin has the ability to remove someone from a rally. They also have the ability to change admin roles. So that you make somebody a rally owner. You can also make somebody a rally admin. Somebody from the previous training asked, what's the difference between a rally owner and a rally admin? There isn't any as it relates to just functionality. But the rally owner is the person who created the rally. Whereas a rally admin is just a person who is helping lead the group. What we often saw was somebody would create the service unit rally and they would no longer volunteer. They were no longer serving as a service unit leader or a service unit volunteer. And we needed to transfer rally ownership. So that's the use case there. You would basically transfer the ownership and then you would remove that individual from the rally since they're no longer active. In addition, a rally admin has the ability to invite their friends, and they also have the ability to download their friend information from name, email, and additional information. When you click on the invite, again, you have some options here. We kind of reviewed them earlier: quick add, bulk, share link, and then your social channels. I'm going to walk you through a few of the processes. Most commonly, the ones that we see are quick add. So if you already kind of have members in your rally and you need to add somebody, just click here. And when you do, you'll get a screen that looks just like this. You'll type in their first name, their last name, and then their email. And then you obviously have the option to invite them as a friend or as an admin. And then once you click invite, an email will be sent to that email address where they will be prompted to join. In addition, when you click on bulk email, you have the option to, if you have everyone's email, you can just kind of copy and then paste it there in the top. It's really important that each email is formatted one of two ways. The first way is you separate each email with a comma and a space, or you could just click return as it is demonstrated here. And what that will do is it'll send emails out to everyone. But before you do send out the emails, make sure you edit the rally invitation message. I always think it's helpful when you make this invitation message very specific, right? We provide you a default message, but feel free to edit that. And then lastly, you have the ability to invite all of these individuals as friends or all of these individuals as admins. All right. Just to show you what the invitation process looks like, just in case you need to advise a parent, a troop leader, or volunteer, they'll get an email that looks like this. Tell them to click on the Join This Rally button, the big green button. When they do, they'll come to a page like this. Make sure that they confirm their time zone. That time zone, the default setting is based on your internet browser. So anyone who travels, if they're on the Eastern time zone, that will say Eastern time. And if they don't change it, their rally calendars will be a mess. They'll be getting notifications that events are happening, 4 or 3 hours before they actually are. So make sure your time zone is correct, type in a password, and click Join This Rally. You also have the option to follow a rally. So if you don't want to necessarily create an account or you don't want to join the rally, but you're willing to follow, what that means is that you'll just get the daily digests, all the email notifications that come from that rally, so you can still be in the loop. You just can't interact with any of the information. Somebody asked, what is the limit of email addresses accepted for a given message? So I think that's asking what are the number of email addresses that you can add for the bulk invite. I encourage everyone to just do 50 at a time, just to make sure that they're all going through and you're getting success messages. So do 50 at a time. And then once you do click join this rally, you're obviously dropped inside. For the individual who's asking, where's my sign up tool? Here's a perfect example of a rally where they've decided, the rally admins have decided we don't need signups, so they've turned that feature off. Again, rally notifications, just really fast. What we'll do here is in the Rally Digest email, or the Daily Digest email comes out every morning, or not every morning, only if there's activity, but it'll come out in the morning. It'll basically be a summary of all of the activity that occurred for that day. If there's no activity, there's no digest. So we're only gonna send you the information if and when you need it. In addition, you have the option to separate your digest. So if you prefer to get separate digest, you can, per rally, you can do that. Or if you prefer to merge all of them into one, which is the default setting, you have that option. And you would change that in My Settings. Somebody asked, sorry, if people will decline, will we know? Yes, you can. As a rally admin, if you go to your friends list, let me just try and get a view here for you. In the upper right-hand corner, if you go to View All, if you click here, you'll have a drop-down menu where you can see who are the people who have declined. Yeah, and you'll be also to see who's following. That's listed as subscribe, so you know that as well. Right. So volunteers join the volunteer rally, but not the hub. Is that right? That is correct. You're going to invite them to the volunteer rally. The people who are going to be living at the community hub are going to be the service unit leaders, and I'll show you why in just a second. But we're going to continue on with special events. This is a pretty robust tool, and I need to make sure that we're good on time, and I need to kind of quickly pick it up. So here we go. For those who are part of a rally that already have some events listed there, you can see a number of events already created, but if you're wanting to create a new one, go ahead and click on that new. And when you do, you'll be walked through a 5-step process. The first being enter your basic information from title, location, address. If you type in the address, it'll link to Google Maps, which is really, really great. And then also if we know a lot of events are happening virtually, so you have an option here to add your video conferencing link, and then description, date and time, and then obviously if you're the event organizer, go ahead and type in your contact information. And if you're ready to go to the next stage, click next. And then if you're wanting to just kind of pause right there, but you want to save what you've done, go ahead and click save, and that'll save it in draft mode. But when you click next, you'll go to the next step. But just to show you really quick, for those of you who are interested in virtual conferencing or just using the video conferencing functionality, this is what the email looks like. When somebody registers for a virtual event, they'll get a confirmation email that looks like this, where the URL will be listed in the email. In addition, if they've registered for the event, they can always go ahead and go back to that event and click on it, and we'll provide you a summary at the top where you can see what you've selected, as well as a link to actually enter the virtual meeting. All right, so going back to the second step to creating your local event or an event page, go ahead and attach a photo. It's the same size as the rally image and community hub image. And then also any additional supporting documents that you need to add, you can do that as well. We know there's a lot of permission slips and forms that you need to add, you can do that. Once you do, click next. You'll come to the third, where you're going to be going ahead and creating tickets and also addressing registration fields. So when you click on add ticket, you can obviously add multiple ticket types, which is really, really great. And for those of you who are putting on an event that is $0, you can easily just type in $0 for tickets that are free. There is a fee associated with tickets that do have a price tag to it. Obviously, there's no fee associated if it's $0, but you have the ability to manage where that fee goes. So you can add it at checkout, so that way the person who's paying covers it, or you can include it in the total price where it's just kind of baked in. So you have that option. And as you can see on the right-hand side, we do the calculations for you, so you can easily see what the buyer total is and what the seller receives. So you can make sure that you calculate and take into the fee accordingly. For those of you who are wondering, again, the fees associated with this, Stripe, which is the application that processes the transaction, they have a 2.9% plus 30 cents per transaction. And then Rallyhood has a platform fee that helps support all of that technology, which is 2.9%. So we're very transparent. You'll see it when you create the ticket types. It's all right there, so you can manage accordingly. From there, you also can set a registration deadline if that's important. And then you can also add some customized instructions. We know that a lot of you need probably additional fields to ask certain questions. We're working on that. That's coming. But for right now, you do have some fields here to add specific questions if you like. So, for example, if anyone has any food allergies, or if you want to know the troop number of the girls who are registering, you can write those instructions in there. And these two fields will show up as a column in your attendee report, which is really great. And just so you know, what does it look like once you create those multiple tickets? When somebody's selecting, this is what it looks like. Somebody can easily just click, drop down how many they want. And then obviously you add your troop number, names, and the attendee. And that's just sort of what it all looks like. All right, moving right along to, again, still continuing in step 3, what are the additional settings? You can enter your refund policy, so whether that's no refunds after a certain date, and then you also have some additional settings that you can choose. So maybe you want to show the names of those who are attending, maybe you want to turn that off, it's up to you. Maybe you want to turn the sales tax on and off, or you have that option as well. And if you want your attendees to have the option to add their name to the wait list if the event registration is full, is also an option. So the hold option, think of the hold feature as a way for attendees to express interest. This is helpful for Girl Scouts because it allows you to share a payment link. For example, if a troop leader wants to place tickets on hold, she can then share the payment link with parents or the money manager. An important note, though, is registration is not guaranteed, right? So it's not guaranteed until the organizer has received payment. So whenever you see the question mark icon, there's obviously a help tip available, so feel free to click on that if you need more information, as you can see there. And then the last option here is you want people outside of Rallyhood or outside of the rally to be able to access the event page. You can share it via a link. You just would make sure that you turn that on. So whether it's something you want to put on your service unit website, maybe you want to share it in a social channel, you'll want to make sure that's available. All right, step 4, you'll want to set up your Stripe account. I will send out separate instructions on how to do this specifically, so hang tight. But assuming that you have set up your Stripe account, you just click on that drop-down menu, select it. Obviously, if you're doing an event where the tickets are free, you can just go ahead and skip over this and just click next and move right along to publish. So I will provide training on in a PDF form on how to do this down the road. And like I just said, if you created a free ticket, you'll be prompted to move to the final step, which is publish. Once you get to publish, which is step 5, you do have the option to keep it in draft mode if that's something that would be helpful. You can also move it to active, which means people can start participating in it. You can also delete or duplicate everything that you've created so far. But once it is done, or maybe you want to put it in draft mode, this is what it looks like. It says draft in the upper right-hand corner. What's really great is you can share the draft link to other people within the rally so they can help contribute and add to it if that would be helpful. All right, so this is what your final event page looks like. It's beautiful, it's clean, it's crisp, it's all right there, all the information people know, and it's very easy for your parents, for your leaders, for your volunteers to quickly register. Now, promoting your event, this is always kind of important. A lot of times we know that there are events that you put on that maybe you just want to keep contained to your troop, or maybe you just want to keep contained to your service unit, or maybe you want to promote it to the entire council. This next section will show you how to do just that. So when it comes to promoting your event, first, when you create an event, just know the Daily Digest will pick that information up so people will know about it. So again, we want to create visibility. People should know about this event, and we want people to start registering. So that will be captured in the Daily Digest so people can sign up accordingly. In addition, you also have the shareable link, so you can share that out to other places, which is super helpful. In addition, if you want to repost, we know that as events get closer, you might want to remind people about the event. You can go to the three-dot menu, which again is only available for admins, and click on repost. When you do that, you have two options. You can repost it on your message wall, your rally message wall, or you can repost it in the Daily Digest. If you choose the Daily Digest, just know that that will not actually appear in the message wall. So it's one or the other. In addition, you also have the option to share. So when you click on share here, what that allows you to do is it'll give you the module where it shows you all the rallies you are a member of, and then you can share that event out. So let's say you create it in your troop rally first, and you just want to make it available to the parents, and once everybody's signed up, you want to share that up to your service unit rally, you can do that, and then let everybody else sign up. And then if you want to share it to a council-wide rally, like the Daisy Brownie Jr. program rally, which your council hasn't created just yet, it's coming soon, you can do that, and that way you can promote it council-wide. All right, so let's go ahead and move right along. Again, things to consider when you create an event, just think about where you're creating it, whether it's in your troop or in your service unit. And then once the appropriate people have signed up for it, you will then obviously have the ability to share it out to a broader audience, like those in the Daisy Brownie Jr. rally, again, which is coming in the second launch. Your council will have that. It's gonna be a large rally for everybody to join. And then also the teen rally, where it will also be a large teen rally. So let's just kind of look at an example. What Kim did. Kim created a holiday ornament making workshop and cookie exchange. She clicked on the share, and when she did that, she obviously has the ability to share this out to her rallies. So what it kind of looks like, there's the event page on the left-hand side. She shared it to the two council-wide rallies, because this is a workshop that's open to all grade levels. So she shared it to Daisy Brownie Jr. rally, as well as the teen rally, which is a council-wide rally with thousands and thousands and thousands of people in it. In addition, she also shared it with another service unit team. And then if you want to click on details, again, it'll show you who created the event, when they created it, and then also you can see who they've shared it with and on what date. We keep record of all of that. All right, we're moving in onto the Community Hub section. That's all the functionality within a rally. Somebody asked a question, is there security around who can register for events via the link? So if you do turn the link on for other people outside of Rallyhood to sign up, you as an administrator, you obviously have the option. You'll be notified, first of all, when somebody signs up. You'll see who they are. If they should not be on that event, you can obviously remove them, but they will not have access to the information inside of a rally. All they're getting is the event registration email when they register. All right, so Community Hub. So let's just go ahead and provide a visual to this. This is a council Community Hub page. Again, a Community Hub is a grouping of rallies. And what's really great about a Community Hub, you have the ability to create, edit, and manage your rallies. You can organize them into categories, and you can also have what's called a community admin. which all of you as service unit leaders, should you have a service unit community page, you would be community admins. Your parents, your troop leaders, your volunteers would not. And the advantage of having being a community admin is you obviously have some really cool publishing tools. So if you have a message, if you have a file, if you have an event, if you want to push down to all the rallies below, you can. Maybe it's a grouping of rallies, a category of rallies, you can push it down to a category, or maybe just select few rallies, you can do that as well. And I'll show you what that looks like in just a bit. In addition, there's no limit to how many rallies you can have under a hub. There's also no limit to how many community admins you can have. And then a rally can only be associated to one hub. It cannot be associated to several. So let's go ahead and just take a look at a side-by-side comparison. You as a service unit leader are gonna have a visual representation of what's on the left here, and then your parents, your troop leaders, your volunteers, who will not be community admins, they'll have more, when they go to the community page, this is what they're going to see. So let's just kind of call out these differences. So for one, as a community admin, you'll have access to the community hub settings. In addition, you'll have access to the publishing tools. So community news is you have a message, push it down. A calendar, so if you add an event in this calendar, you can push that event down. Same thing with files and links, you can push it down. Whereas those who are not community admins just kind of have this view. In addition, you have the create a rally button that your other leaders do not have. So you might be wondering, okay, but what about my troop leaders who want a troop rally? I don't want them creating a rally in their dashboard. What do I do? Well, when you bring Rallyhood to your service unit, you'll obviously introduce it, and part of introducing it is teaching them why you're going to be using it, but also teaching them how to create rallies, and they'll know that they need to go through you to do that. So that way it all stays under a service unit hub. If you learn that a troop leader has created a rally and it's not a part of your service unit hub, just email clientsuccess@rallyhood.com and we can pull it in for you. All right, so let's go ahead and look at the settings. So in the settings, obviously you have the ability to change the community image. We always encourage everyone to add a great community image, makes it more inviting. In addition, you also have the ability to edit the community name and the community description. Again, we provide you a default message, but it's always super helpful to provide a specific message here to the service unit and what people can anticipate. Somebody did ask, we don't invite people to the community page. That is correct. As you see here in the upper right-hand side, it says community admins. If you want to give another service unit leader access, community admin access, that's where you would do it. Inviting them is very similar to how you would invite a friend to a rally or an admin to a rally. So it's the same process, same steps. But let's go ahead and take a look at how to create categories inside of a hub. When you do that, it's very easy. You'll come to a page like this. You can easily just type in the category and click save. Typically, if you anticipate a lot of troop rallies being created, 2 examples that you might want to create are creating categories to represent troops that are younger, right? So the Daisy Brownie junior troops, and then you might create a category for the troops that represent the older girls. So those ambassadors, cadets, and seniors. In addition, there's a few rallies for cookies. I don't know, it's up to you, but you have the option to create categories if you want. So to create a rally from your community homepage, just go ahead and click on the Create a Rally button. When you do, you'll come to a page that looks just like this, where you'll just type in the name of the rally. So for the example that I'm using today, it's a troop rally. So I'll type in troop, the troop number, and then I'm going to want to make sure I follow up with some more information, like of service unit 124, and then my council abbreviation. The reason being is because we have thousands and thousands of troop rallies. And so it's helpful if you add a little bit more detail so that people don't confuse this troop with another troop 3401, maybe out in Pennsylvania or Florida or Texas. So just have that there so we'll know. And then you can assign it to a category if that's something that would be helpful. Once you click save, oops, sorry about that. Once you click save, you'll be dropped right into the rally itself. And as you can see, you'll need to invite the troop leader through the friend tool. You'll want to invite them as an admin, so that way they can add a rally image, they can populate this content, or populate this rally with content, and then invite the parents. All right, if you ever want to navigate back to your Service Unit Hub page, just click on the link at the top there, and that will bring you back to here, which is really neat. So you can see there's my troop rally right there for everyone to see. Alternative to troop rallies, I know the example was creating a troop rally. I'm not saying everyone should go and start creating troop rallies. In fact, my best practice here is only create troop rallies if a troop leader is asking for it. The other alternative that you can do is create rallies for your parents, right? So create a rally that's called maybe Daisy Brownie Junior Parents of Service Unit 124. And same thing with parents for teens, right? Teen Parents of Service Unit 124. So rather than maybe publishing a message, a file, or event down to troop rallies, maybe you just go into those rallies and just post on the message wall or just post on the rally calendar. So you have different options here. If you feel like managing troop rallies is something you don't want to do, that's something you can do as well. So let's go ahead and talk about publishing content. So right now I'm clicked on community news. This is basically your message wall here. And this is something that only admins have. So basically you just type in a message like you normally would. And then when you do that, you have the option to, once you post it, you'll click on the save, or I'm sorry, you'll click on the share icon. Once you click on the share icon, what you'll get is this module. And then it's here that you can obviously select by category. So the category I've selected here is younger troops. So naturally, any rally associated with that category is also selected. And then I can also select any other rally for that matter if I want to. But once I do that and I click publish, then the message is pushed down to the rally below. So let's go ahead and take a look at what that looks like. So this is the message. Let's go ahead and click on that rally. When I click on that rally, there's the rally there at the top, Troop 3401, and there it is. There's my message. It's called Community News. So that way people know that it's coming from the community level, and there's all the information. So this process is the same process from the calendar, similar with files and links as well. All right, so this next piece is talking about just some general tips for launching your service unit page. So for those of you who are interested in having your own service unit hub page, you can email clientsuccess@rallyhood.com, or you can email me as well, and we'll get you set up. So a few things that we always encourage as a best practice to make your service unit launch successful. We encourage all service unit leaders to do the following. Before you invite anybody to your rallies, make sure you populate your community hub with a community image, and then also make sure your rallies have content. So that means your rallies all have rally images, and that your rallies also have a welcome message. They have files in the file section. They have events on the calendar. They have signups created if that's necessary. One person asked earlier, how much effort is involved in getting a service unit hub page up and running? That's a great question. It really depends. As you can see, if you had several community admins and everybody kind of pitched in, it does not take long to get all the content created and in a rally. The benefit of again using something like Rallyhood and all the tools, or all the tools being in one rally, is you can create the content, upload it once, and maybe just hammer it out for an hour, and then your year is part of all the work that's involved with communicating events. Helping people find files is done because it's already in the rally. Obviously, you would need to go to the message wall from time to time and post a message, but that's fairly simple. So again, step one, always make sure you populate your hub and rallies with content. I also encourage that you introduce Rallyhood at one of your service unit meetings, right? So this is kind of where you would say to your leaders, hey, if you want a troop rally, or if we're missing a rally that you think we should create, please let me know, or another community or another service unit leader know, and we'll create that rally for you. And it's also here where you can also provide just general information on what it is and how it can be used, and we'll provide you PDFs so that you can easily communicate what Rallyhood is. It'll be a PDF that looks very similar to our last training. Obviously, not a training like this, but in addition, we also encourage everyone to communicate Rallyhood is coming before sending out rally invitations, right? So you would send it out in the form of an email, or maybe you'd maybe use your whatever group site you're using now, whether that's Facebook, Yahoo, or Shutterfly. Just let people know that, hey, we found this platform, we're going to be transitioning over. Let people know that it's coming, right? Because if you just send somebody an invitation to a rally and they have no idea what it is, it's likely they're not going to create an account. So always make sure people know that it's coming. So communicate, we're going to be using it. And then I always say, send out a second message that says, hey, rally invitations were sent, check your inbox. So that way they know to look for it. In addition, number 4, only create rallies if they are requested. Again, I mentioned this earlier. It's really important that there's ownership to every rally in your service unit hub. Otherwise, they'll just go stagnant and nobody benefits. So sometimes we have service unit leaders who get super crazy and they think of all these different ways of creating rallies and make sense. They're excited, but again, only create rallies if other service unit leaders are asking for it, you're asking for it, or just maybe troop leaders or parents are asking for it as well. That way, everybody's kind of buying into the ownership, and everybody knows to go to Rallyhood to get information. And then in addition, lastly, for strong adoption within your service unit, I always encourage the service unit leadership team to lead the charge. Don't continue to communicate through email. Communicate through Rallyhood. In fact, a lot of service unit leaders that I've talked to, when I've asked them how did they make their experience successful, a lot of them will say, we just laid the hammer down. We just said, Rallyhood is what we're using to communicate information. If you want it, get on Rallyhood. I mean, that's certainly one option that works. There's also obviously other ways that you can ease Rallyhood into your service unit step by step. It's up to you, but either way, lead by example, lead the charge by continuing to post information in that rally when things are first getting started, so that people know to go there and to find information. All right. That's it, y'all. So I feel like that's a lot of information. Hopefully I didn't overwhelm you. If you have any additional questions, you have 2 options. You can either type it in the chat box, or you can unmute yourself and I would be happy to answer them. If you have questions that come to you at 4 in the morning or maybe tomorrow or down the week, please don't hesitate to reach out to clientsuccess@rallyhood.com. We'd be happy to help you, and let us know how we can serve and get your service unit rallies up and running successfully. So with that, if you have any questions, go at it. When am I sending out the PowerPoint? That is a great question. I need to tweak a few things, making sure that everything grammatically is there, and then it'll be uploaded. We'll upload it to the service unit leaders network rally. I'll create a folder in there called Rallyhood, and I'll also post a message on the message wall so everybody knows that PowerPoint is there. All right. Well, if nobody else has any other questions, you're free to go. Yes, thank you for your time. We really appreciate it. I hope you're excited about Rallyhood, and let me know how we can help.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?